Welcome back to my whiskey pick of the week. You know I'm Eric the Whiskey Guy, and as always, as usual, and as advertised. Oh, am I bringing you a treat this week? Oh, I got a feeling this week is gonna be a fun week. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's gonna be a fun week. This week we're going to be trying the Clyde Maize Straight Bourbon whiskey, and I'm excited. Now, before I go into the details on this beloved bourbon spirit, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it first. Before we even dive into it, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it because I think it's interesting. Now, I've been seeing this bottle for a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm finally gonna do a review on it. I'ma just take it. I'ma just go with the flow, cause this bottle, just looking at this bottle, I felt like I can have fun just talking about the name, Clyde Maize. When I seen this bottle, I was like, Clyde Maize sounds like either he was the first bootlegger to get inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame, or he was drafted in the first round to the San Diego Padres with a name like Clyde Maize. Now, me personally, I wouldn't trust anybody named Clyde. Nope, I'm not trusting anybody with the name Clyde. If I grew up and a buddy was named Clyde in the neighborhood, that would be the friend that I tell I can't have company to the house, because Clyde gonna steal something. Clyde sound like he gonna steal something. Now, all jokes aside, I did do a little background check on him because I ain't wanna be making a video and I'm making fun, clowning old Clyde, and he turned out to be the first cousin to JFK or somebody. Now, Clyde is actually, he's a war hero. He went to World War II. He came back with a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. So he was the man over there. Straight war hero, World War II. He came back from fighting overseas and started bootlegging, making his own moonshine on his back porch. So this dude went over, fought Hitler, and came back and was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sell some hooch. Now, keep in mind, this is 1945, 44, 46. Alcohol is legal. We in the South, so we got ABC, we got Walgreens, pharmacies sold liquor. It was legal. This dude said he gonna sell moonshine, and he did. He sold moonshine for 30 years between 1950 and 1980. 1980. I was born in 1980. He around selling moonshine. Now, he's also from the great state of Alabama. And go figure, Alabama. I feel like I'm in Florida. I feel like once you get past Tallahassee, that Alabama starts there. That's where Alabama starts. That trip, if you ever took the trip from Tallahassee to let's say Panama City, that's the most depressing road trip ever. It looks, smell like Alabama. So he's a legend. He is a legend in Alabama, the great state of Alabama. This is where Clyde came from. Now, Clyde, the law caught up with him around like 1973. Cause you can't sell illegal alcohol your whole life. You can't do it. You could even do it in Prohibition. They was getting banned every 2 weeks during Prohibition. So what you think that go happen in the 70s? So he went down. Now, why he did 18 months while he was locked up, He had to give his cell. He had to give his cell up. He had to give it up to the same guy that convicted him. The attorney general. The attorney general in Alabama went down on charges from the Watergate scandal. So Clyde, boy, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. So he's a convicted felon, been selling moonshine. He finally he passed away in 1990. So his son Kenny wanted to take over the business. 1990. His son do the same thing. Like, you in a small town in Alabama. Everybody do what your family do. Why not just do it the right way? But no, he had to do the same thing. Then he finally said he was gonna get his act together. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the in honor, the tribute to the late Clyde Mays. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. So we just go dive right into it. Now, the bottle itself, on the bottle, this is the first time that I've seen a bottle like this. This is a unique bottle. At the top of this bottle, it says it's been available since 1946. It's been legal since 2001. So Kenny Mays, it took 9/11 for Kenny to be like, hey, you know what? We need to go legit. Cause they gonna be, the whole country, FBI, the DEA, all of them. They gonna be the ATF. They gonna be working overtime. So I will get my act together. It took 9/11 for these people to say, you know what? Let's just sell it at the store. So, and it says straight on the bottle. Now it's 92 proof. It's about it's like a $35 bottle. So just read a little passage that's on the bottle, because they got a whole paragraph. Basically, I gave you the summary of old Clyde. Now the first sentence on this bottle says, Clyde May was a moonshiner by trade, but a craftsman by heart. Come on, y'all. Are y'all kidding me? They got this on the bottle. Actually on the bottle. That's like someone said, oh yeah, you know, I sell dope, but my passion is to be a mechanic. That's what that sounds like to me. They got pictures of him and his wife on the bottle. You know, they gotta remind you now he is a war hero. They got him in his uniform on every picture on this. So you know you gotta give it up to him. He won the Purple Heart, bronze medal, got the best hooch in Alabama from Pensacola to Montgomery somewhere. So let's see how his bourbon is. Kenny's. See how Kenny bourbon doing. Smell like some gas. I'm not sold on this one. Kenny, you need to go back to boiling it and sterilizing it and putting it in the bathtub or something, because this legal stuff you doing ain't it. This ain't it. I give this a 5.5. It doesn't really have that. It doesn't have a bourbon. Doesn't have that bourbon taste to it. It just don't taste like bourbon. You can tell it's whiskey, but it's like it's down there. It's bottom shelf for me. Now, is it tolerable? Yes, it is. Would I go out my way? No. Nothing to write home to mom about. They need to stick to the moonshine. That's what they need to do. Now, a little interesting note, and I don't know why or how they did this, but the state of Alabama actually named this the state spirit, the state spirit. Like, this is their spokesman. This is their bottle. This is their bottle. This is their representation of bourbon in the state of Alabama. They did this. They gave Kenny the keys to the city and all. A year later, Kenny went to jail. Kenny went to jail because apparently he lived in a dry county. So he went down for selling and the distribution of bourbon in a dry county, trafficking, selling to minors. They did all that. Like, now keep in mind now, if it's the national or the state representative of bourbon in your area, they sell it at ABC. The same store that I got it in Florida was selling it when they went down. So he was telling people, don't go to, like, where I live, let's say I'm in Volusia County. So let's say Volusia County is a dry county. You gotta go to Cocoa Beach. That's in Brevard. He was telling people, hey man, you ain't gotta drive all the way down to Brevard to get my bourbon. I give you some out the backyard. So he was having everybody in Volusia County coming to his house. You know he ain't carded nobody. DA got him, bammed him. So the Alabama whiskey, the state not whiskey, is banned in Alabama. They can't even sell this in Alabama at the time. So I thought that was just a little unique side note, but I don't even see how. Like, the people that voted, like the Congress people, they didn't sip it before they said, you know what, this is gonna be the state representative of bourbon in the state. They should at least took a sip or at least smelled it. I would have went with somebody else, even if it wasn't even Alabama. I would have been like, hey, we sell a lot of Buffalo Trace. Let's make that our spokesperson when it comes to bourbon. But hey man, this is my pick of the week. We're gonna do it all again next week. I'm gonna sip on this NASCAR fuel that I done bought. Y'all have a good